On January 26, 1950, India became independent after 100 years of British rule. India is also the second most populous country in the world and the world's largest democracy. Over the decades, India has transformed itself into a nation recognized by the International Community in many respects, including in the economic sphere. The country of India also has one of the very important civilizations in global business. Indian people are fluent in English. This makes India one of the centers for outsourcing services, home to the world's largest technology and software industry and the largest film industry. In addition, the country is growing both as a market for consumer goods and as a market for the urban middle class. In other words, due to the India's problem, the Indian economy is facing stagnation, which means unemployment and inflation at the same time. India needs more formal sectors such as households, specialized health departments, and vulnerable groups. India's economy is slow as inflation expectations remain high amid rising energy and food prices around the world. This will lead to a deterioration of the world situation.
Based on graph above, it shows the unemployment rate in India since 2011 to 2020. In 2011, it showed that 5.65% of people who do not have any job in India. Only 0.01% increase in the unemployment rate occurred in India during the year of 2012. The next year also showed the unemployment rate increasing, that is 5.67%. Starting in 2014 until 2017, the unemployment rate began to decrease. The data show that 5.6%, which has been recorded in 2014 for unemployment rate in India. Unemployment rate is decreasing by 0.04% in 2015. In 2016, unemployment rate graph continued decrease to 5.51%. In year 2017, percentage rate for unemployment in India declined to 5.41%. Data in 2018 show a significant change, which is increased by 0.47%, but in 2019 there is a sharp decline data, which is 5.27%. Lastly, the year 2020 must show a significant increase in the rate of unemployment occurring in India, that is 7.11%.
Based on the diagram above, it shows the inflation rate in India from 2011 to 2020. As we can see, the rate keep increase from 2011 until 2013, which start with 9% in 2011. Next, the inflation rate for 2012 was 9.3%, which increased 0.3% from 2011. While for 2013 is the highest percentage in 10 years inflation, which 10.9%. However, the rate began to decrease in 2014 until 2017, which shows 6.4% in 2014 and decreased about 0.5% in 2015 from previous year. In 2016, the rate was 4.9%, which decreased 1% from 2015 and followed by 2017 with the lowest percentage in inflation in 10 years, which was 2.5%. The rate started to rise about 2.4% in 2018 and decreased back 1.2% in 2019, which 3.7%. Lastly, in 2020, the inflation rate increased back to 6.6%, which 2.9% increase from the last year.
I am going to discuss about the issues of unemployment and inflation in India. The unemployment in India has increased throughout implementation of the COVID-19, but many industries struggles to find the perfect candidate that is qualified. For unemployment, there are open job vacancies, but due to the overpopulation in this country, the unemployment is increasing. Not only that, every country in this world are advancing with technologies and high-tech firms are recruiting fewer workers day by day. Then, the major industries' jobs are only available for people with higher education backgrounds and greater experience. The challenges generated by unemployment are that unemployment and poverty coexist. Therefore, the issue of unemployment leads to poverty. As for inflation, good price inflation affects the well-being of poor consumers. This is because agriculture employs the majority of the population in India. It also has a favorable impacts on market credit facilities by increasing the aggregate demand. This leads to changes in relative pricing across commodities and pushing up the prices of items. Furthermore, a surge in global goods inflation causes price inflation throughout the international trade channels. Clothing prices have also risen as manufacturers raise retail pricing to offset the impact of higher raw material costs. Moreover, the requirement now include expenditure on healthcare, transportation, and education. All of this account for 2/3 of consumer spending, and this explains that inflation in this sector has risen.
Several forms of unemployment consider economic strength, length of unemployment, and workplace changes. The 6 categories of unemployment are as follows. Cyclical unemployment develops as economic activity changes during the business cycle, which is a part of capitalist economy. Cyclical unemployment figures in India are negligible. Consider the increase in unemployment caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Many businesses experienced lower sales when stay-at-home orders and temporary company closure began in March 2020. Approximately 10 million paid jobs have been lost in urban and rural India, and it is unknown how many people will be able to recover their income. Next, open unemployment occurs when a considerable portion of the labor force is unable to find work that will provide them with a steady income. As a result, not everyone finds work. Open unemployment is a position in which the individual is accountable for the work and is well informed and educated, but the person does not have a job. Disguised unemployment occurs when more individuals are employed inactively than is required. In India, agriculture composes nearly half of the labor force. This is mainly due to disguised unemployment. Agriculture, the principal sector of the India economy, employs over 51% of the entire workforce. Seasonal unemployment is only available for a brief time, leaving individuals who work in them unemployed after the season expires. For instance, during the holiday season or the wedding season in India, unemployment rates decline because of the need for labor to assist with all the preparation needed for the different rites taking place. When labor is jobless for a part of the years, it becomes difficult to cover all season expenditures such as rent and other obligations on a regular basis. People quitting their jobs willingly cause frictional unemployment. People who have resigned from their positions and graduates looking for their first job require time to locate work, leaving them unemployed in the meanwhile. For example, Ali resigned from his job but did not have another lineup. Ali is aware that he wants to pursue a different career path. He is looking for something that fits his purpose and ideals. Structural unemployment is caused by the technological change in the economic structure in which labor markets work. Many individuals in India are unemployed because they lack of the necessary skills, and training them is difficult due to the lack of knowledge. Consider a sorting warehouse where manual labor is replaced by the automations or robots. Only staff who know how to operate machines will be kept, while the rest will be laid off. This focuses on the structural unemployment. Lastly, when advances in technology and working method force some workers to lose their jobs, this is referred to as technological unemployment. According to World Bank data, the share of Indian employment retained by automation is 69% year-on-year. Warehouse employees, for example, moving, loading and unloading items as well as packing them require minimum human involvement. As a result, fewer workers needed at warehouse. To summarize, unemployment is business-related issue. There are numerous sorts of unemployment that are classified based on the reasons that contribute to the situation.
Demand pull inflation and cost push inflation are the reasons why India is facing inflation. Demand pull inflation, there are various reasons that cause an increase in aggregate demand. The amount of money available to the economy will rise as a result of increased government spending, also known as a fiscal stimulus. Additionally, it will boost overall demand, leading to an increase in inflation. An increase in net export for the nation. This is crystal clear. If the nation exports necessity quickly, the economy's need for goods will grow. In actuality,
India has a poor supply of goods, especially when the country faces a pandemic that makes it difficult for India to produce goods. Another factor contributing to inflation is monetary stimulus. When the central bank uses monetary stimulus to increase the money supply in the economy, it occurs. Cost push inflation. Prices may rise even though if there is no increase in overall demand. If costs rise initially without any corresponding rise in total demand, this might happen. Oil price shock. As marginal production costs rose in the 1970s, cost push inflation was exacerbated by supply shocks that had previously caused them. A significant supply shock was caused by the abrupt increase in oil price. Next, the issue that arise are additional impact by the farm price shock. Cost push inflation can also be brought on by an increase in the cost of other raw materials. India, for instance, is significant for its agricultural products in the global economy. Most countries in the world have flexible currencies. They can lose value monthly in terms of US dollars depending on the demand and supply of currencies.